The old market buzzed with activity. Stalls overflowed with strange and wonderful objects. A group of friends, Ahmed, Sarah, Layla, Karim and Maher, wandered through the labyrinthine aisles. Their eyes darted from one curious item to the next.
What is that?
Ahmed stopped abruptly. He pointed to a dusty stall tucked away in a dark corner. The stall's owner, a wizened old man, grinned toothlessly. He held up a beautifully crafted backgammon set. It was made of dark, polished wood. The points were inlaid with silver and bone. An unsettling aura seemed to emanate from it. Despite the unease they felt, the friends were captivated.
How much?
Karim inquired, his voice hushed. The old man named a price. It was surprisingly low, almost too low. With a final knowing glance, he handed the game to Karim. The friends hurried out of the market, clutching their unsettling new purchase. That night, the friends gathered at Layla's house. Excitement and apprehension hung in the air. The backgammon set seemed to pulse with an unseen energy. They rolled the dice to see who would go first. Karim, his face pale in the flickering candlelight, went first. The game started innocently enough, but as the night wore on, strange things began to happen. The temperature in the room plummeted, sending shivers down their spines. Whispers seemed to emanate from the game board itself, whispering their names.
Did you see that? The bone pieces? They moved on their own.
Layla swore she saw the bone pieces move on their own. The friends laughed nervously, trying to rationalize the unsettling events, but deep down, fear began to take root. As the game progressed, the supernatural occurrences intensified. Each roll of the dice seemed to unleash a new horror. Ahmed, who had always been terrified of spiders, found himself covered in creepy crawlies. Sarah, haunted by the memory of being lost in a forest as a child, saw gnarled branches reaching out from the game board. Karim, his face ashen, started speaking in a voice that wasn't his own.
We have to stop this. It's preying on our fears.
The friends realized with growing horror that the game was preying on their deepest fears. It was as if the backgammon set was alive, feeding off their terror. They tried to stop playing, but something compelled them to continue. The game took a sinister turn. The rules began to change, bending to the will of the evil entity trapped within the board. Moves became impossible to make without unleashing new horrors. Each roll of the dice brought them closer to the brink of madness. They were trapped.
We can't win.
Sarah cried, her voice trembling.
We can't quit either.
Ahmed said, his eyes wide with terror. He tried to move his piece back the way it came, but an invisible force stopped him. The room grew colder, the air thick with dread. The friends understood. There was only one way to end the nightmare. One of them had to sacrifice themselves to the game.
Chloe, tears streaming down her face, volunteered.
With a trembling hand, she moved her last piece, accepting her fate. A blinding flash of light filled the room. Then, silence. The friends slowly looked up. The backgammon set lay on the table, its power seemingly diminished. But something wasn't right. Chloe was gone. The only evidence she had ever existed was a faint, sweet smell in the air and a single bone backgammon piece lying on the floor. It was Chloe's piece. The friends were safe for now. But they knew deep in their hearts that the horror wasn't